Algeria, a country in North Africa, boasts a rich and complex history. This vast nation, the largest in Africa, is a land of contrasts and diversity, both in its geography and its people. From the bustling coastal cities to the remote desert oases, Algeria offers a unique blend of ancient traditions and modern influences. It is a land of diverse landscapes. The northern region is dominated by the fertile plains and the majestic Atlas Mountains, which provide a stark contrast to the arid expanses of the Sahara Desert in the south. This geographical diversity has played a crucial role in shaping the lifestyles and cultures of the Algerian people. From the Mediterranean coastline to the vast Sahara Desert, Algeria has it all. The Mediterranean coast, with its mild climate and fertile lands, has been a hub of human activity for millennia. In contrast, the Sahara, with its harsh and unforgiving environment, has been home to nomadic tribes who have adapted to its extreme conditions over centuries. The country's strategic location has shaped its destiny. Situated at the crossroads of Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, Algeria has been a melting pot of cultures and civilizations. Its position along ancient trade routes has made it a focal point for commerce, conquest, and cultural exchange. It has been a crossroads of civilizations for centuries. The ancient trade routes that crisscrossed the region brought with them not only goods but also ideas, beliefs, and technologies. This constant flow of people and cultures has left an indelible mark on Algeria's history and identity. The Berbers, an indigenous group, are the original inhabitants of Algeria. Their presence in the region dates back thousands of years, and they have managed to preserve their unique culture and traditions despite the many waves of invaders and settlers. The Berber language, with its ancient script, is still spoken by many in Algeria today. They have a unique culture and language. The Berber festivals, with their vibrant music, dance, and traditional attire, are a testament to the resilience and richness of their heritage. These cultural expressions provide a glimpse into the ancient traditions that have been passed down through generations. Over the centuries, Algeria has witnessed the arrival of various empires and cultures. Each of these empires, from the Phoenicians to the French, has left its mark on the land and its people. The ruins and monuments scattered across the country are silent witnesses to these bygone eras. The Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, Ottomans, and French have all left their mark. The Phoenician ports, Roman amphitheaters, Ottoman mosques, and French colonial buildings each tell a story of conquest, adaptation, and cultural fusion. These architectural marvels are a testament to the rich and varied history of Algeria. Each group has contributed to the intricate tapestry of Algerian identity. The blend of different cultural influences is evident in the country's art, music, cuisine, and daily life. This cultural mosaic is what makes Algeria a unique and fascinating place. This video will explore the historical trajectory of Algeria. We will delve into the ancient roots of this land, tracing its evolution through various periods of history. From the prehistoric rock art to the modern-day nation, Algeria's story is one of resilience, adaptation, and transformation. We will delve into its ancient roots and trace its evolution through various periods. The ancient rock art found in the Sahara provides a glimpse into the lives of the early inhabitants of the region. These archaeological findings are crucial in understanding the long and complex history of Algeria. We will examine the arrival of Islam and its profound impact on Algerian society. The spread of Islam in the 7th century brought significant changes to the region, influencing its culture, architecture, and way of life. The beautiful mosques and Islamic artifacts found throughout Algeria are a testament to this profound influence. Additionally, we will shed light on the colonial period under French rule and the subsequent struggle for independence. The French colonization, which began in the 19th century, had a lasting impact on Algeria's political, social, and economic landscape. The struggle for independence, marked by the brutal Algerian War, is a significant chapter in the nation's history. Finally, we will provide an overview of modern Algeria, highlighting its challenges and achievements on the path to progress. Today, Algeria is a nation striving to balance its rich cultural heritage with the demands of modernization and economic development. The bustling cities, growing industries, and vibrant cultural scene are all part of the dynamic and evolving story of Algeria. Long before the arrival of the Romans or the rise of Islam, Algeria was home to a vibrant civilization, the Numidians. These ancient people, part of the larger Berber ethnic group, inhabited the region that is now modern-day Algeria and parts of Tunisia. The Numidians were not just a single tribe, but a collection of tribes that shared a common culture and language. They were known for their skills in horsemanship and their fierce independence. Their society was complex, with a rich tradition of oral history, art, and craftsmanship. The Numidians played a crucial role in the history of North Africa, influencing the region's culture and politics long before the advent of European colonization. The Numidians were skilled horsemen and fierce warriors known for their resistance against foreign powers. They were adept at using the rugged terrain of North Africa to their advantage in battle. Their cavalry was particularly renowned, and they often employed guerrilla tactics to harass and outmaneuver their enemies. The Numidian warriors were not just fighters, they were also statesmen and diplomats. They formed alliances and negotiated treaties, always striving to maintain their autonomy in the face of external threats. The Numidian kingdom, under rulers like Massinissa, flourished in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC. Massinissa in particular is a legendary figure in Numidian history. He united the eastern and western Numidian tribes and established a centralized kingdom. Under his rule, the Numidian kingdom became a significant power in the region. Massinissa was a shrewd leader who balanced military prowess with diplomatic acumen. He forged alliances with Rome, which helped him to consolidate his power and expand his territory. His reign marked a golden age for the Numidians, characterized by economic prosperity and cultural development. However, the strategic importance of North Africa did not escape the notice of the burgeoning Roman Empire. The Romans were keenly aware of the region's wealth and resources. They saw North Africa as a vital part of their expanding empire, a land that could provide them with the grain and other resources they needed to sustain their growing population. The Numidians, with their strategic location and military capabilities, were both a potential ally and a formidable obstacle to Roman ambitions. After a series of conflicts known as the Punic Wars, Rome eventually conquered Carthage, a powerful city-state in present-day Tunisia. The Punic Wars were a series of 3 wars fought between Rome and Carthage from 264 BC to 146 BC. These wars were some of the largest and most significant conflicts of the ancient world. The defeat of Carthage marked the end of a major rival for Rome and opened the door for Roman expansion into North Africa. The Numidians, who had been allies of Rome during the wars, found themselves in a new geopolitical landscape. This victory paved the way for Roman domination over North Africa, including Algeria. The Romans were masterful administrators and engineers. They established numerous settlements and cities in Algeria, bringing with them their advanced knowledge of architecture, engineering, and governance. The Roman presence in North Africa was not just about military conquest, it was also about cultural assimilation and economic exploitation. The Romans introduced their language, Latin, which became the lingua franca of the region. They also brought their legal system, which laid the foundation for modern legal codes in many parts of the world. The Romans established numerous settlements and cities in Algeria. These cities were centers of trade, culture, and administration. They were built with the characteristic Roman grid pattern, featuring forums, temples, baths, and amphitheaters. The ruins of these cities, such as Timgad and Jamila, are a testament to the grandeur and sophistication of Roman urban planning. The Roman cities in Algeria were not just places of residence, they were also hubs of economic activity. They facilitated the movement of goods and people, contributing to the prosperity of the region. The Romans introduced their language, laws, and infrastructure. They built roads, aqueducts, and other public works that transformed the landscape of North Africa. The Roman roads in particular were engineering marvels that connected the farthest reaches of the empire. These roads facilitated trade and communication, making it easier for the Romans to administer their vast territories. The Roman legal system, with its emphasis on codified laws and legal principles, provided a framework for governance that influenced many subsequent legal traditions. Roman influence can still be seen today in the ruins of cities like Timgad and Jamila, testaments to the grandeur of the Roman Empire. These archaeological sites offer a glimpse into the past, revealing the architectural and engineering prowess of the Romans. The ruins of Timgad, for example, include a well-preserved arch, a theatre, and a basilica. Jamila, another Roman city, boasts impressive mosaics and public buildings. These sites are not just historical curiosities, they are also important cultural heritage sites that attract tourists and scholars from around the world. The fertile lands of Algeria became a breadbasket for Rome, supplying grain and olive oil to the empire. The agricultural wealth of North Africa was one of the main reasons for Roman interest in the region. The Romans introduced new farming techniques and crops which increased agricultural productivity. They also established large estates known as latifundia, which were worked by slaves and tenant farmers. The grain and olive oil produced in Algeria were exported to other parts of the Roman Empire, feeding the population and supporting the economy. The legacy of Roman agriculture can still be seen in the landscape of Algeria today, with its terraced fields and ancient olive groves. The story of the Numidians and Romans in Algeria is a tale of cultural exchange, conflict, and transformation. It is a reminder of the rich and complex history of North Africa, a region that has been a crossroads of civilizations for millennia. The legacy of these ancient peoples continues to shape the cultural and historical landscape of Algeria, offering valuable lessons for understanding the past and navigating the future. The 7th century AD marked a turning point in Algerian history with the arrival of Islam. Arab armies carrying the message of the Prophet Muhammad swept across North Africa, bringing with them a new religion and a new culture. The Berbers of Algeria, initially resistant, gradually embraced Islam, which resonated with their own beliefs and values. The arrival of Islam had a profound impact on Algerian society. It led to the establishment of new social structures and political entities. Arab language and culture became intertwined with the existing Berber traditions, creating a unique Arab-Berber synthesis that defines Algerian identity to this day. Islam also brought with it a rich intellectual and artistic heritage. Centers of learning flourished in cities like Tlemcen and Behaia, attracting scholars and students from across the Islamic world. Mosques and madrasas became not only places of worship but also centers of knowledge and cultural exchange. Section 4. Under the Ottoman Crescent. Centuries of Imperial Rule. After the decline of earlier Islamic empires, Algeria came under the rule of the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century. The Ottomans, a powerful empire centered in present-day Turkey, brought stability and a degree of autonomy to Algeria. Algeria became a regency within the Ottoman Empire, ruled by governors appointed by the Sultan. Under Ottoman rule, Algeria witnessed a period of relative prosperity. Its coastal cities became centers of trade, connecting Africa with the Mediterranean world. The infamous Barbary pirates, operating from bases in Algiers and other ports, became a force to be reckoned with in the Mediterranean, challenging European naval power. The Ottoman period also saw the consolidation of Algerian identity. The Dey or ruler of Algiers exerted considerable autonomy, often pursuing independent policies. The fusion of Arab, Berber, and Ottoman influences further enriched Algerian culture, creating a distinct character. Section 5. The Shadow of Colonization, French-Algeria and its Legacy. The 19th century marked a turning point in Algerian history with the arrival of a new power, France. French interest in Algeria began with a dispute over unpaid debts owed to French merchants. In 1830, France launched a full-scale invasion of Algeria, marking the beginning of French colonial rule that would last for over a century. The French conquest of Algeria was brutal and protracted. It met with fierce resistance from the Algerian population, who fought valiantly to defend their land and freedom. However, French military superiority and ruthless tactics eventually prevailed, leading to the subjugation of Algeria. French colonization had a profound and lasting impact on Algeria. The French implemented policies aimed at assimilating the Algerian population into French culture and suppressing Algerian identity. Land was confiscated from Algerians and given to French settlers, leading to widespread displacement and economic hardship for the indigenous population. Section 6. A Nation Awakens. The Fight for Algerian Independence. Despite the oppressive policies of the French colonial regime, the spirit of resistance never truly died in Algeria. The French colonial rule, which began in 1830, was marked by severe exploitation and harsh repression. The Algerian people were subjected to land confiscations, forced labor, and heavy taxation. Their culture and identity were systematically undermined, and any form of dissent was met with brutal force. Yet amidst this oppression, the desire for freedom and self-determination persisted. Throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries, various nationalist movements emerged, demanding greater autonomy and eventually complete independence from France. These movements were often led by educated elites who were inspired by the principles of liberty and equality. They organized protests, published newspapers, and formed political parties to voice their demands. Figures like Masali Haj and Ferhat Abbas became prominent leaders, advocating for the rights of the Algerian people and challenging the legitimacy of French rule. The horrors of World War II, during which many Algerians fought and died for France, fueled the flames of nationalism. Over 170,000 Algerians were conscripted into the French army, and many more worked in war industries. They witnessed firsthand the devastation of war and the hypocrisy of fighting for freedom abroad while being denied it at home. The war also exposed them to new ideas and experiences, further strengthening their resolve to fight for their own liberation. Algerian soldiers who had witnessed the defeat of other colonial powers returned home with a heightened sense of national consciousness and a determination to liberate their own country. They had seen the collapse of the British and French empires in Asia and Africa and were inspired by the independence movements in India and Vietnam. They realized that colonial rule was not invincible and that their own struggle for freedom was part of a larger global movement. The year 1945 marked a turning point. The end of World War II brought a wave of decolonization across the world, and Algeria was no exception. The Algerian people were hopeful that their sacrifices during the war would be recognized and that they would be granted greater autonomy or even independence. As France celebrated its victory over Nazi Germany, Algerian nationalists organized peaceful demonstrations demanding independence. On May 8, 1945, as the world rejoiced at the end of the war, thousands of Algerians took to the streets in cities like Sétif, Guelma, and Kherrata, waving flags and chanting slogans for freedom. They hoped that the principles of liberty and justice, which the Allies had fought for, would be applied to their own country. However, their hopes were brutally crushed when French authorities responded with violence, killing thousands of unarmed civilians in the Sétif and Guelma massacre. The French military and police forces, backed by settler militias, unleashed a wave of terror, burning villages, arresting thousands, and executing suspected nationalists. The exact number of casualties remains disputed, but estimates range from 6,000 to 45,000. This massacre shocked the world and exposed the brutal reality of French colonial rule. This act of barbarity proved to be a turning point. It galvanized the nationalist movement and convinced many Algerians that peaceful protests were futile. The massacre became a symbol of the cruelty of colonialism and a rallying cry for independence. It also drew international attention to the Algerian cause, garnering support from other anti-colonial movements and sympathetic nations. It shattered any illusions about the possibility of peaceful coexistence with France and ignited the flames of armed struggle. The massacre led to the formation of the National Liberation Front, or FLN, in 1954, which launched a full-scale war of independence. The FLN organized guerrilla warfare, targeting French military and civilian installations, and mobilized the Algerian population in a united front against colonial rule. The fight for Algerian independence had begun in earnest, and it would be a long and bloody struggle, but the determination and resilience of the Algerian people would ultimately lead to their victory in 1962. Today, Algeria is not without its struggles, but the people will continue to build on these great lands to make them greater and more prosperous for tomorrow and in the future. Thanks you for joining us on Algeria's journey. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video of Algeria's fascinating history. Bye for now.